how much does a manager's personality and their ability to communicate truly matter when it comes time to get onto the field and play? Like, can you give me an example or give us an example of like what makes Rob so good at that and why he has seemed to resonate so much with this clubhouse?
Yeah, I think it's how close you get to your players. I was a guy that always got close to my players, but at the same time, I did preach discipline, and like in our team was very well structured and attitude wise and chemistry, and like a lot of that goes to the people upstairs, but at the same time, coaches and manager definitely plays a part in that. And I think players do like to play for a certain manager, and I think every manager is different. And a couple of weeks ago, I was playing golf with Joe Madden, and we talked about what a manager brings to the team. And most of the time, they are different in personality and different in philosophies. And at the same time, like do they blend in on your team? And and how big a part they play. I think they play more than people will ever realize, because of the change in the game, and people say, well, how hard is this and that? But at the same time, too, the manager has to be the leader, and he has to have leaders in his clubhouse and all that. But at the same time, when we get down to it, like how your team reacts to playing the game, and do they love to play the game, and how much do you put into it? And in Philadelphia, the fans bring a lot of that energy to the ballpark. But at the same time, too, I think that the manager is the leader of the team. And I think Robbie Thomson, all the years he was in baseball, and he was a third base coach, he's been a coordinator for spring training forever. And he's always been a buffer, but go between the player and the manager. And I think he's learned a lot about the game, and also that gives him his communication skills. And I think that he touches bases with his players every day. And right now, the way they play and the changes that's been made since the season started, and the players that we added on our team and players that we got off, it looks like our mix has finally, came together, and we're starting to play what I call solid, good baseball.
What kind of quality, did you see in players that were good for this team?
Well, let me tell you something. As far as I'll take Utley first. Utley's the most prepared player I've ever been around. He doesn't talk a whole lot. He's a leader, and once the players get to know him, he leads by example, by hustling and things like that, and also how he plays, how he practices. And believe me, he wasn't a big talker or nothing like that. But all he had to do was look at the guys, and they knew exactly what he was thinking. He was that kind of leader. He was very stern in his look, and he knew how to play, and they loved playing with him. And why? Because of who he was. He was Chase Utley, and he was a baseball player, and he brought that kind of energy and life, and that kind of even keel, I would say, every day. So then there's Jimmy Rollins, and Jimmy Rollins kind of a flamboyant player. He's kind of exciting. He he's got a lot of skills. He can steal bases for a little guy. He's got power. He's got a lot of talent. He's got a strong arm from the outfield on cutoffs and relays. And when you look at him, I think sometimes his talent gets overlooked. He was overrated. He was an underrated player on our team. I felt like he was a much better ball player than I think most people realize. And then we had Ryan Howard. In Ryan Howard's heydays, I always like to say that Ryan Howard's production was like two guys. Because he knocked in 140 to 150 runs, and he hit 40 and 58, hit 58 home runs one year, and he always usually was for 4 years there. He's in the 40s, and he accumulated a lot of runs, of course, and those things are hard to beat. And Hamels was in his prime when we had him, and the year we won the World Series, of course, I felt like Hamels. Things fell right for our rotation, and we kept our rotation intact and had it organized the whole way through, in winning the World Series. And in other times that we got in, especially the second time we got in the World Series, our starting pitching was not, we had to reach down and make some moves because guys were either sore or had an injury or were sick. And we had a hard time keeping our rotation against the Yankees, like the way we wanted it.